All right, in this video, I want to talk to you about when you actually can lose money. Timing that is very important. I'm out here at the lake cabin still here a couple more days. My name is Ethan Kapp, and I help you lock in your lifestyle so you actually don't run out of retirement income when you need it the most in retirement. Now, when we talk about losing money, Warren Buffett has said, rule number one is don't lose money, and rule number two is remember rule number one. Now, if you have your money at risk, right, it's going up and down in the market, let's call it, whatever that might be, you can say, well, I never lose money because I've never sold it. And that may be true in the accumulation phase. Now, in the decumulation phase, this is where it gets a little bit more tricky, because you may start withdrawing that money, and if you actually have a loss, okay, and you're withdrawing the money, you're forced to share, or you're forced to sell, you may have to actually sell those shares at a lower cost. Versus if you didn't have to sell them and you waited for the market to rebound, then your shares are back at a higher cost. And that's why we talk about locking in your lifestyle. And so if you're going to lose money in retirement, you would want to actually have a withdrawdown or a market downturn later in retirement. And this is what we call in the sequence that you actually have those returns. Let's say two people, let's say they have the same age, they have the same amount in their retirement accounts, and they both start to take out the same amount of money. And let's say they have the same average returns, okay? But the first one had a significant amount of losses at the beginning of their retirement, and the other one had those same losses, but in the later years of their retirement. What happens with that first person, it's because it's in that retirement danger zone. Remember, we talked about the first 5 years or the 5 years before, after you retire. Similar to the retirement, to the death zone on Everest, okay? This is where people get to and they actually start to die because the body can't handle it. And so same as with retirement, we want to try to eliminate market loss for a portion of our portfolio, and that's what we call the lifestyle lock bucket. And what the important part of this is that if you actually have a loss, because you can't time those, then that portion of the money that's not in the market, you don't really have to worry, because it's locked in your lifestyle, and you can actually be able to pay your lifestyle that year, and you're not forced to take that money out that year. Versus if all of your money is at risk and it comes back down, you may be forced again to sell those shares at a lower cost. And so this is why we emphasize locking in your lifestyle. This is so important. Mathematically and scientifically, it's so much better for your retirement, and it can eliminate for a portion of your portfolio. If you do have those significant years of losses in the beginning, you can wait for your portfolio to recover. That's the power. And your lifestyle still locked in, because you can actually then pay for your basic expenses in retirement.